This week's parsha is parshas toldos. And parshas toldos, the very first verse says, "Ve'elu toldos Yitzchak ben Avraham." These are the chronicles of Yitzchak, the son of Avraham. Avraham hoilidis Yitzchak. Avraham bore Yitzchak. The verse seems very repetitive. First it says that these are the chronicles of Yitzchak ben Avraham, and then it says Avraham bore Yitzchak. So of course, if we know that Yitzchak is the son of Avraham, we know that Avraham bore Yitzchak. Rashi addresses this question and says the people of that generation were saying that they were casting doubt on whether Avraham was the father of Yitzchak. A couple of parshas ago, the Torah brings the story of the episode with Avimelech. Sarah was taken in captivity by a person named Avimelech. Sarah is the wife of Avraham, the mother of Yitzchak, and at that time, these people were saying that she became impregnated by Avimelech, and Yitzchak is actually the son of Avimelech and not of Avraham. This is what the people of that generation were saying. They were spreading rumors, false rumors, that Yitzchak was not the son of Avraham, he was the son of Avimelech. Rashi goes on to explain that they were confronted with, when they met Yitzchak, they were confronted with the fact that Yitzchak resembled very greatly his father, Avraham. Their physical features were extremely similar, and therefore people knew that it was obviously just a bad rumor, and it was false, and really Yitzchak was the son of Avraham. It's interesting to note that these people would have great chutzpah to talk about Avram in such a way. Avram was renowned across the map. People knew of him, people knew of his righteousness, people knew of his chesed, his kindness, and the miracles that were done to him by Hashem. They knew of his close relationship to Hashem. Nonetheless, these people spread these rumors. So where did they get the chutzpah to do this? What propelled them? What made it convincing that people would actually believe that a person like Avraham would claim that Yitzchak was his child even though he was not? So to this, the commentators explain that if you notice, this week's parsha, the beginning of this week's parsha, is an interesting place to put this message, that Yitzchak is the son of Avraham and not of Avimelech. Because Yitzchak is already advanced in age in this week's parsha, and he's already having his own children. You would think that if Hashem wanted to convey that Yitzchak is the son of Avram, not of anybody else, he would have done that upon his birth or subsequently afterwards. Instead, it says that at the beginning of this week's parsha. So why now? The commentators explain that in this week's parsha, we have the two children of Yitzchak being born, Yaakov and Esav. Yaakov, as it turns out, is a righteous person, while Esav is a wicked one. So, when the people saw that Yitzchak could have a child like Esav, such a wicked person, they said it's no doubt that there is something wrong with Yitzchak's lineage. How could a person who is the son of Avram, the greatest person to have ever lived, have a grandson who was a wicked, extremely wicked person like Esav? Therefore, they came up with the story that Avimelech was really the father of Yitzchak, and therefore Yitzchak could have a child like Esav. That is how they came up with what propelled them to come up with this story of Yitzchak's father really being Avimelech, because that was the only way you could have a child like Esav. Just a quick question on this week's parsha. When the Torah talks about the naming of the two sons of Yitzchak, it says, "Vayikru Shemoi Esav," and they called him Esav. And when it talks about Yaakov, it says, "Vayikra Shemoi Yaakov," and he called him, or she called him, Yaakov. Why, when it talks about the naming of Esav, does he use the plural form? And why, when it talks about the naming of Yaakov, does it say the singular form? Have a good Shabbos.